This is a free call, but donations will be accepted to Claire's Place Foundation's COVID-19 Emergency Fund to support children with cystic fibrosis, and they are some of the most impacted right now. I will periodically throughout the course of the call post the link so that you can donate. We've already received so many donations. We are so appreciative of everyone who has donated. I mean, if you go to that page, you'll see like the tens of thousands of dollars that have been donated. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you do want to donate again today, it is a huge gift. So I will post that link.
Can I just say a little something about that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, those donations, just so you know, those donations literally, we funnel them straight through to families and kids who are either having extended hospital stays, or in this case, cannot go back to work. Parents can't go back to work, and so that it literally, we have 70 or so applications, and this money goes directly to support kids with cystic fibrosis and living expenses, medical expenses, stuff like that. So we don't keep a penny of it. And like Nicolette said, you guys have been so generous and so wonderful. So thank you for that. We really, really appreciate it. From Claire's mom too, who was here a couple weeks ago. We really appreciate it.
And then I also just wanted to announce, since we have a program starting next week, and it's really exciting, and a completely online program called Depth and Devotion. And it's a 90-day deep dive into this work. So if you're really loving what you're seeing, I will post the link for that if you're interested. We have it about half full now. So we do still have spots available. If you're in the virtual workshop, you get a discount, and we have discount links for that. So all of that is, I'll make the link available so you can see that. And then the last thing that I wanted to announce that I'm excited about before I introduce our call for today is that we are going to continue these calls. We're going to do them monthly. Yay, I know, it's really exciting. So yeah, we're going to do them monthly, and our next one will be May 26th. So we're going to take a little bit of a break because we are launching a program next week, but May 26th, we'll do it again, same time, maybe same Zoom. We will keep you posted on that. If you're on our mailing list, then you'll for sure get the announcement. Otherwise, we'll keep it posted on our website. But we'll do them monthly, and we'll have a schedule so that you'll, yeah, anyway, it'll be nice to continue to get together. So we are so thrilled to have Danielle LaPorte with us as a special guest today to help support with answering your questions and just bring her wisdom. So really excited to have her with us, and I'll let John introduce her, but we have that today, and then we have all kinds of questions that you'll be bringing. Again, I'm Nicolette. I am available in the chat box if you want to PM me with any particular questions. Otherwise, I will turn it to John.
Great, thank you, Nicolette. Hi, Danielle. Is everything work in terms of technology? You can mute and unmute, all that stuff. Can you just say hi so I can make sure you're all good?
I am unmuted. I am live. I am so loud. Okay.
Hi, everybody. Say hi to Danielle. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. This is so exciting. What I'd like to do with everybody is just do a little 3-minute practice first, and then just drop us into our bodies, open up the center channel, which is, you know, so crucial for this. And then we're gonna riff. You know, Danielle has generously donated her time here. I thought we would pick as a theme, but it's a very loose theme, desire, which is, you know, something you've written about and something I talk about and something everybody seems to have. So we're gonna have that as a loose theme, and if you have questions for other things, that's great. But we're going to riff a little bit on that, and then we'll open up on questions. Is that cool with you, Danielle? Okay. All right. So we're going to do just a super meticulous, short but meticulous ego eradicator. And I love this exercise because it generates chi like nobody's business. And if it's done properly, you can do it 2 or 3 times a day, and it just really creates a lot of space internally and also energetically. Okay, everybody, I'd love you to come to a strong seated position, and I want you to try as best you can to make contact with the earth, either with the soles of your feet or through your sits bones, okay? So it's a very strong sort of yogi on the mountain position, even if you're sitting in a chair. And be aware of the connection from the bottom of your heart, you know, the root of your heart, and the earth. So you can go ahead and actually use the muscles around your ribs and around your heart to point your heart down into the earth, literally plant your heart down into the earth, the bottom of your heart. And make sure your feet are firmly planted into the earth. But then from the top of your heart, I want you to think of piercing the sky. So lifting the top of your heart up into the sky. And then you're going to take your hands, hopefully you can see me just fine. You're going to bring your fingers to the pads of your palms, and then your arms are going to go out at 60 degrees. So your elbows aren't bent, they're not locked, but they're straight. And they're parallel to your biceps. So they're not in front of you like this. Your chest is not collapsed, it's open. The whole point of this exercise is to clear that center channel and open wide. So imagine now that your arms are piercing the sky, even into the stars, like, you know, through the atmosphere out into space. The top of your heart is at the very top of the sky, very fresh, very clean. The bottom of your heart is rooted into the earth, connected to the minerals, to the magnetism of the earth, okay? Engage your lats, which is gonna pull your shoulders down, and open. So if you're on your cycle, I want you to do this breath. It's gonna be just a nice, smooth O-mouth breath. So you can go ahead and start that now. And if you're not, you can join us in a breath of fire, which is a really powerful exhale, and the inhale is going to happen naturally. So the breath of fire is really the focus on the exhale. And I want you to just allow the inhale to happen naturally. And right from the beginning, I want you to imagine clearing that center column from your throat down to your perineum. So you want to make it this really clean tube, this really clear, clean tube. Your chest is opening because your arms are stretching up into space, up into the sky. And your sit bone is planted into the earth, kind of like a tuber root would be. And the root of your heart is pressing down into the earth. So you're literally a bridge between heaven and earth. And continue your breath of fire. So you're activating your navel. You're clearing that center column. You're connecting to the minerals of the earth. Your heart is opening up into the sky, getting very fresh, very clean. Your chin is slightly tucked. It's as if there's a string attached to the top of your head, to the crown of your head that's pulling you upward. I'm just going to continue for another 90 seconds now. So lock into this as best you can and really focus now on that bridge between heaven and earth, rooting from the bottom of your heart down into the earth, lifting from the top of your heart up into the sky. And then for this last minute, take your awareness now and press it into your third eye, into your brow point, and literally see what it is that you want to create in the world. So take this navel power that you're activating and this earth power and this sky power that you're connecting to. And I want you to focus it right through the third eye to a manifestation vision, to an image. It's a moment that you want to experience. Maybe you're walking onto a stage. Maybe you're making love with somebody. Maybe you're, with a family or running down a beach. But whatever it is that feels like the most profound moment of manifestation for you, I want you to crystallize that through your third eye. Just another 30 seconds. Stay with it. Stay with your breath of fire. And see as clearly as you can through your third eye this moment that's so important to you, this moment you want to experience. And see what you would see, hear what you would hear, feel what you would feel. And just let your heart sing these last few moments, another 15 seconds. So make these last few moments a meticulous and deep celebration of what it is that you're here to create, what it is you're here to experience in the world. And then in 5 seconds, we're going to bring our thumbs to touch above our head, and we're going to plug our fingertips into the sky. So in 3, 2, 1, bring your thumbs to touch above your head, above your crown. Plug your fingers into the sky, but don't lose the connection with the earth. So pressing down through your core into the earth and up into the sky. Take a big, deep inhale and hold it. Hold it. Squeeze your root lock, your perineum, your pelvic floor. Hold your breath. Plug your fingertips into the stars. Like literally feel starlight through your fingertips. Exhale, but hold the pose. Inhale one last time. Squeeze that root lock, perineum, pelvic floor. Ground your heart into the earth. Plug your fingertips into the sky. Feel how you've become this beautiful channel between the stars and the earth. Your body's literally pulling starlight down through your fingertips into your heart, into your belly, into your solar plexus. Hold it for another 10 seconds. And then in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, exhale and very slowly exhale, but wave your arms out to the side very slowly, feeling every molecule of air brush past your fingertips, expanding out like a sun, opening up your heart, opening up your chest. And then bringing your hands to rest down in your lap or on your upper thighs. Taking a moment to notice what's different in your nervous system and different in your body. Maybe you feel a little more free or a little clear, more clear. Just take a moment of gratitude for everything that you've been given in this life, both the challenges and the blessings. Gratitude for everybody here, committed to love, committed to depth. And then a final bow out to everybody in the world, sending whatever openness you created in your body, sending it as a gift, as a prayer for anyone who might be suffering today or might be struggling today. And then you can go ahead and open your eyes, come back to our call. Okay. All righty. So I would love to, I don't know if you have, what I would love to do, Danielle, is just to, you and I just have a little discussion for about 5 minutes about, how we work with desire, what we think desire is, how to work with it at this time. And then we'll open it up for questions and see if we can have a big conversation with everybody. Yeah.
So what do you think desire is?
I think desire is for lack of a better way of talking about it, your heart speaking through your body. So I tend to think that the truth of your heart, which is divine in my opinion, has a signal that emanates through the body, and the more tuned in to that signal and the more open the body, the deeper we can feel our own desire.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so easy to get, what I found is it's so easy to lose with all the noise and all the things, the programming and all the things that we think we're supposed to do or supposed to have or supposed to create. And so I've just really been on a mission to try to help people remember or connect to that which they want most, that which they yearn for most. So that's, I mean, and of course there's a lot of yogic ways to work with it, but I think that's the simplest definition.
So what if what you yearn for isn't good for you?
Well, I think that most of what we yearn for is a divine inspiration. I think most about what we think we want is not that signal at all. And so part of the yoga, in my opinion, is to clarify. I mean, part of the reason why we practice and meditate and get very discerning in our awareness is so we can have wisdom between what we think we want or what we think will bring us happiness and the deep impulse that's moving through our bodies that life is presenting to us. And I think there's a distinction there that a lot of people miss.
Yeah. I'm really interested in that distinction.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where the fucking rubber meets the road, because otherwise we'll spend years chasing shit. We're like, oh, I thought I wanted this. Yeah. I remember sitting on my great aunt's knee when I was, I don't know, 8 or 9, and her telling me that the greatest thing a human being could do was get a PhD. And here I was at 29 in graduate school trying to get a PhD and not realizing where that impulse came from. Right. And so it takes a while for us to really discern what is programming, what are the desires that are programmed in us versus the desires that emerge when we connect to the divine.
There's the distinction, I think where we're headed is the distinction between the hungry ghost desires, never fillable, right, drive you crazy, ravage your life in the worst way, bad news, and desires that are virtues of the heart. And to have, and to distinguish, you have to distinguish between where feelings come from and where virtues come from. And my experience is that virtues are, there's a different vibration between virtues of the heart and feelings. Feelings come from the subconscious. Emotion comes from the past. I mean, everybody right now can think about strong emotion, think about anger, probably associated with the past. We don't want to have our subconscious driving that ghost part of us, right? So in the heart, there's the virtues of, I think, the queen is love, and that everything is just an expression of love. So compassion is the cousin of love, and generosity and inclusiveness and joy. And when I say inclusiveness, I mean that part of you that's like so loving and so vast, everything's in. Your arrogance is in, your manipulation, your shadow, your subconscious, your hungry ghost, like it's all there. And then everybody else is in, your partner's stuff is in, and it just goes out. I'm interested in that place actually beyond feeling. And this is the conversation I've been having for a lot of years. So like I used to hang out, whenever I'd hang out with like a lama or a priest or a rabbi, my question would always be, so talk to me about desire. And I would try to like get them into like kind of get into this kung fu with them and say, but if enlightenment is this desireless space, right, aren't you still desiring enlightenment? Like, don't I got you there on that one. And the answer was always, there's always going to be desire. It depends on how you're going for it. So are you gripping it, or are you opening to it? Are you being a container, a conductor for it?
Right.
But then there's that other layer question, which is where we're hanging out right now, which is, it's not just how you are with the desire, it's what you want. And from my experiences, that's where the work really is. That's where, like, you just have to grind down, and so much gets burned when you look at what it is that you really want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, two things that came to me as you were talking. One is that desire is a present moment experience, right? It's not a past driven experience. It's a connection to that which is wanting, your heart is wanting now, or yearning for now. And and then the other piece I thought was really interesting is that desire itself, enlightenment, you know, I was raised a Buddhist. My mom, you know, raised me as a Buddhist. And one of the things that I learned, and this Tibetan Buddhism, Japanese Buddhism, a little different, but that enlightenment, actually, desire is the key to enlightenment. Because through desire, you seek, right? Even if you're seeking freedom, spiritual freedom, or you're seeking deep love, you're seeking. And so part of our humanity is to seek. And through that seeking, we have to burn off karma. We have to burn off the things that are stopping us. And so I just, you know, I'm just finding more and more, when people can shed the faux desire, so we call it the faux desires, and get really into the pulse of their heart, the yearning of their heart, the transmission shifts. Like their nervous system, when they hit it, like I'll work on this too with a lot of people, and when they actually hit, like, my deepest desire is to be worshipped in love and ravished, or whatever it is, right? Or and you hit that, it's like your nervous system kind of shudders, and you can feel something open. It's a deep integrity. And you're right, it's a trick. And
well, no devotion without desire. That's it. They're partners. Yeah. Beautiful. But it's the burning off.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. So are you ready to take some questions on all this? I think we laid a groundwork. Do you have something else you want to add?
I think the title of my next book should be Faux Desire. Faux Desire and Low Desire. Yeah.
Okay, well good.
Great. Let's talk about virtues. Let's talk about the hungry ghost. Let's talk about shadow, the desires in the shadow. Yeah. And union. Really, it's about union. I mean, my prayer these days is, and it's been like a lot of refinement, a lot of burning to get to that, is just help me want the right things. And I want, I'm here to be in alignment, to just, and we know this, everybody in this space knows that love is the isness, love is the stuff. So it's not about a getting to, it's not about help me get to that which I desire. It's just like, help me remove all the illusions that I don't already have, that I want what I want, that I can't build on what I already have. Yeah, just help me want the right things in alignment with higher love. Yeah. And the list gets really simple and basic after that. It's
super simple.
So primal. It's,
I find that when you are in a space, when somebody's in that space of help me want the right thing, like when I get to that which I want, which is God speaking through me, my desire is a gift, versus the kind of hungry ghost desires that you're talking about, that actually sucks energy from our partners, from the world, from the space. But when we're in this place of a real pure desire, that is the right, whatever the right thing is for you, it occurs as a gift to your environment and to the people around you. And that's where it becomes relational in a way that I find really interesting.
Well, and that's leadership, right? Like the loneliness and the beauty of leadership is like, I'm fully in my desire. This is my vision of making it. And I'm just going to, and you just have to radiate that out, and people come with or they don't.
Okay. All right. So there you are, everybody. At least a jumping off point from us. And, but of course, you know, anything that you feel you need to talk about, my guess is that we're going to find a way to tie it into desire. So Nicolette, you have questions? So you can direct them to Danielle if you want to hear from her, both of us, if you want to hear from both of us, however it is that y'all want to.
I have the chat open so I can see questions.
Okay, cool.
So we're going to start with Megan. Megan, go ahead and unmute yourself. She's been here like all 3 calls and had her hand raised, so I wanted to get to her.
Thank you. Hi guys. Hi John. Hi Danielle. Hi Nicolette. So my question is, oh, can you all hear me? Did I hear? So my question has to do with the little one that you just saw. So I'm a single mom to a 4-year-old. And so especially during this time, with it being just her and I've been very much in masculine mode because parenting is just a very masculine thing. And it's just been really hard because it is only me and her to kind of still be getting in touch with like just my femininity, like my radiance, things like that. And so I'd gone to the Boulder workshop a couple years ago, which was phenomenal and amazing and changed my life in so many great ways. And I'd actually dated the first man that I'd dated since my daughter's father last summer. And I was able to like bring my full like radiant energy and all these things that ended up not so great. And since then I've had a really hard time just kind of stepping back into that part of myself. So I'd love to hear just some thoughts, what I can kind of do to help get back in touch with that, especially just in light of the situation, in light of having to be in my masculine, being a single mom who's usually working, not right now, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll kick this to Danielle to start. As a woman, I think she might know a little more about this than me.
Tell me why parenting right now feels like you're in your masculine.
Because it's a lot of very like, I'm the one who's holding the space. I'm the one who has to be very directive. I have to be creating those concrete boundaries of like, please do this, please don't do that, especially because she's 4 years old. So she's really exploring a lot of things. And I feel that even like there are times when, I mean, because I'm a human and I have feelings and emotions, but at the same time, I feel like if I were to step into my feminine and really feel it through my body, I feel like that would be almost too much for her to witness, if that makes sense. Because that's also not her job to be the witness for that. So it's really hard because it's like I want to allow my emotions to move through me, but I want to do it in a way that in a way that I'm trying to think of the words now.
Okay. I get it. You want to be responsible. You've got to keep things organized. I understand. But what a gift. I just want to like offer like what a gift for her to witness you being more in your feminine. And I think so. I have a 16-year-old son, and I remember when he and his father were splitting up, and I was splitting up with his dad. And every book told me essentially to be in my masculine all the time and to toe that line and direct it and keep everything bounded. And I think the greatest gift I gave him were the times when I fell apart. And I think like the compression that so many of us are feeling in this like sheltering retreat situation, it's like pushing us to do things in a new way, to not be so bounded. Like this is like the greatest call to the heart that humanity has ever had. You're going to direct her anyway. You're going to tell her what's right and what's wrong. You're going to get her fed. She knows what time snack time is. Like all that's going to get done because responsible. But, you know, I remember seeing my mother was like a hot mess archetype. And it was a beautiful thing. And you're modeling for her. You know, like what about just a lazy, fluid, anything goes, messy, crying. And my experience right now is like the sorrow is so real. I mean, just this weekend, I have 3 girlfriends calling saying, I'm just crying all the time. It's cleansing. Be like, look, you're even softening right now. She's probably going to come up and just want to like tuck in. Yeah, it's a gift. The softness is a gift. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to just speak to this, you know, the practice of allowing emotions to come, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's easy when we have shit to do to just let those, to find a way to stuff them, to move them, to avoid them, to spiritually bypass. And yet I think that the way that I've seen this work is that if we can create a little bit of structure daily, maybe this is before she wakes up or after she goes to bed, where you have some time on your own mat and you get to listen to some music and move your body and feel pleasure in your body and just connect to what's true, right? It might take 15 minutes of honoring your own heart, right? And creating a little bit of a practice for you to just feel, but feel from a place, you know, there's just like anything, there's depth. So you could feel from a place of, I'm afraid, or you could literally let your body feel the depth of fear that you have, or sorrow, like Danielle was talking about. And I think that the deeper you feel things and you get in the practice of feeling things, and this is for everybody here, when it comes time to just let the feeling move through your body like a shutter, your body's open and sort of available to it. Versus it's a move that becomes very easy, and it can happen very quickly. Mm-hmm. And you could feel whatever needs to move through you very, like Danielle said, softly and easefully. But sometimes we have to practice bringing our attention to it, mm-hmm. and letting our body express it. And it's an act of self-love, I would argue, like a real act of self-love. Mm-hmm.
And you're Wonder Woman, 4-year-old and sheltering in place.
It's hard.
It is fucking hard. Let's just say it.
Unrelenting. It's
I'm like about to cry because it's just been so hard.
Yeah, you need to cry. Yeah. You really need to cry. Yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, part of some other ways to just touch the feminine, let yourself be witnessed by others. So calling a girlfriend, or even here on this call, like you can feel everybody's attention. And the more you can just soften into receiving everybody's attention on you and your heart, the more you're honoring your own feminine, right? And you know, so there are ways that you can, you know, finding something that just pleasure is a real easy way to get into our feminine. So a long bath, or, you know, some oils that you love, anything that gives you just a little bit of a gateway to the feeling body is gonna help.
Listen, I want to say something to everybody.
Sure.
I have lots to say to everybody. This is not the time to power through. Ironically, we think this is the time to hunker and toughen and resilience. I'm actually so tired of the word resilience right now. This is the time to fall apart. This is the call. The great pause is to go into the depths, into the shadow, into the sorrow where all the joy is. This is the greatest opportunity for group therapy that we have ever had, and hopefully we don't get it again. So this is the time, you know, when we get through this, I don't want my son to say, you know, that one time in, you know, 2020, that was the year you were so tough. I don't know. I want him to say, that was the year you were softer than ever. That was the year I saw it all. That was the year we just tucked in and we let everything fall apart around us. Like, this is the time for the heart. This is it. This is it. Given, you know, and as parents, lots of us here parents, you know how in the early days, you get all that conflicted teaching about letting your kid cry it out, and everything in your body wants to go hold your child. You fucking know it's wrong. All the Ferbering bullshit. Everything in our bodies right now just wants to just soften.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh. I hope that everybody listening and watching this develops a true reverence for whatever you're feeling, and to bring a reverence to what you're feeling and letting yourself feel it fully. Like Danielle said, it's really important, and a lot of people miss this, I think, that on the other side of touching a feeling fully is joy. Even if that feeling is grief, even if that feeling is fear, even if that feeling is anguish or anger, on the other side of touching it fully, joy will emerge. And just training ourselves. This is warrior's work. That's why Trungpa called it warrior's work, right? And Pema Chodron talks about this a lot too, is that feeling it fully, it's fucking courageous to do that. So great. Thank you for the question. Thank you for the question. Yeah.
Okay, next we're going to go to Emmett. Emmett, you can unmute yourself.
Hi, John. Hi, Danielle.
Emmett.
I have this, the words, they get funny sometimes. I love helping people like develop their ideas. I love helping people find clarity and like really bring out the essence of what they want to offer the world. It's one of my favorite things. But I'm getting to the place in my life where I actually have to start doing that for myself. I have to start developing my ideas and offering and putting attention to my business. And I feel like I'm floating in outer space trying to do that. Like I try to go there, and all of a sudden it's like I can't even find the ground, and it's really weird. So I was hoping that if you've had that experience, if you recognize that dynamic in that experience, if there's any advice that you could offer. John, thank you for your smile. It's really reassuring.
Yeah, this is the time of groundlessness. Accepting groundlessness is a very, very deep practice. And to relax, or let's call it relax into being groundless, is a beautiful practice. And for the times that you do want to make grounded decisions, I would literally, kind of refer you back to where we started. Right? I had you ground from the, the root of your heart, that point at the bottom of your heart. Mm-hmm. Ground that. Mm-hmm. It's a super easy thing to do. Nobody needs to know you're doing it. There's no super tricky yogic breath. You just ground that into the earth and then allow everything to soften. So the yogic move is this. You ground that bottom of your heart. You strengthen your spine, like literally strengthen your spine, and you let everything else soften, almost like melting butter. And then can you feel that, Emmett?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it's okay. You're going to want to tense. That's cool. You just remember, right? And you just come back to, oh, my jaw, my eyes, my chest, my solar plexus, everything soft, heart grounded, spine strong, breath smooth, everything soft. And then when you start to make decisions and choose the next right thing to do from that place, you're going to make better decisions. Can you feel that?
Yeah, in little moments between the heartbeats.
Yeah, well, you're thinking a lot, brother.
Yeah,
you're thinking a lot, which just means that there's more relaxation needed and more grounding needed. It's almost impossible to overthink when you ground and breathe and relax. So I would try that as just a daily practice of just making grounding and relaxing the practice without any sort of your goalless practice. Mm. And then once you get good at that, you'll start to be able to make decisions as to what's next or what needs to happen. But I do believe that you have to both, it's a paradox. You have to both accept the groundlessness of this current time we're in and just really relax into the groundlessness. And then also you have to ground when grounding is needed. And that's just good leadership and good practice
Yeah. There's part of me that feels like there's even like the part before that where I'm getting lost, like even like losing the sensation of what I want to offer and like the clarity of the feeling of it. I don't know, maybe it is that same practice, but it even seems like the step before making a decision or moving in a direction, I feel like I'm losing the connection of it.
To the desire, or to the feeling?
To the desire, to the feeling, to the like, oh yeah, that's the thing I want to offer.
And you're uncertain as to what you want to offer?
The thing I've been really excited about offering is art, like helping people develop skills for connection. Like I've been loving to create space for people to have more connection, more intimacy, more like what feels like satisfying connection in their lives.
Great.
There's a market for that.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Go, Danielle, do you have something you want to add?
Emmett, where are you? You speak so I can see you.
Hi.
Okay, you come up. All right, Emmett, do you want to be of service?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you again. Do you want to be of service?
Yes.
Great. I think you just anchor into that desire, and the vision will come from that, and then you do it. You have to have a vision, just like root into that. Maybe the form isn't clear right now, but just, I want to serve. I want to serve. Show me how to serve. What's, as John says, what's the next best step to serving? That's it. You need that northern star in you. And then you throw the vision out and you walk towards it. It's like Carl Jung says, you have the dream, you throw it out, and you move within that dream. Yeah, but just anchor into the service. Otherwise, you're just going to blow in the wind. We'll be having the same conversation in 18 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Part of your confusion, Emmett, if I can just come high flame, part of your confusion is the lack of structure in your body and breath. So it's hard to have real clarity when your body does not feel anchored, like Danielle said. So if you anchored and grounded and then felt through your heart this desire to serve, to help people connect, which is beautiful, man, you know, it's going to sharpen you. So part of, you know, if I can just, you know, use our masculine feminine parlance for a second, your sharpening is, it's dual. You want to feel the depth of yearning to serve, and you want to develop sharpness in you and clarity in the structure of your body and your life for it. When you can develop those two things simultaneously, you'll start to know what to do next, and you'll start to know how to offer what you want to offer. But it should hurt. To not know what we're here on the earth to do is fucking painful. So I want to kind of normalize that you should feel a little like, because if you're not clear, like, here's what I need to do for me to die complete, it's fucking painful, man or woman.
And socially, we're addicted to productivity. So we are trained to not be comfortable in this space. So when I'm in an entrepreneurial context, I get asked a lot about passion. I can't find my passion. I don't have my vision. It's like ebb and flow, but we're addicted to the I gotta be on, I gotta burn through this, I gotta fucking crush it. No crushing, no crushing, no hacking. There's times for the ground to be fallow. And what I've seen is that when we don't enjoy the fallowness, when we don't enjoy the flow of it, when it's time to make good on the vision, we regret that we didn't like hang out and have a vacation and really restore our nervous system. So I don't know exactly what's going on for you, but maybe this is just a time for rest. And to, you know, Nietzsche says there must be chaos in your heart to give birth to stars. Maybe this is chaos time. And then the chaos will start to get putrid. It'll get toxic for you, and you will know. You'll start to really get agitated with your own shit. and then it's time to lock in and rise. But ebb and flow, there's times to be lost, not know. Yeah. It's not writer's block, by the way. There's no such thing as writer's block.
There's a Buddhist image of the lotus flower, which some of you may know grows out of a fecund, muddy swamp. So this beautiful flower grows out of this swamp that is kind of the chaos or muck of creation. And hanging out in that swamp until your lotus flower can bloom is as much a deep spiritual practice as, you know, or as potent a practice as writing a 3-year business plan. But I would say, did you have a vision? I'm going to ask you, did you have a vision or an image when we were doing that practice at the beginning, something that felt like, oh, there's you walking on stage, you supporting people? Was there something that came to you?
It wasn't something I like saw. It's not really like a walking on stage thing, but I did definitely get the feeling like, oh, okay, there's that feeling. Oh, okay, there's that, like, that momentum. This was the sensation of it.
Great. Well, you can start with that as a North Star.
Yeah.
And then just take baby steps, small steps towards whatever that feels like. And then it's like if you ever saw the Indiana Jones thing where he had to take the step and then the stair appeared. Saw it, maybe you didn't, maybe I'm dating myself.
It's such a dude metaphor.
It is such a dude metaphor. But
Indiana Jones is self-help.
Yeah, he had to take the step, and then this plank appeared, right, into the chasm. There's sometimes like letting your purpose emerge is like that. For me, it was like, okay, I want to lead men. That was my first impulse. I want to lead men. And so I just kind of follow that impulse and come up with something, and I took a step, and it was good. And then I did it again, and then, you know, things developed from that. But all of this with an eye to what Danielle said, which is that you don't have to push. Like there's a sort of Tao Te Chingness of it, right? That is very, that's just very relaxing for you, very nourishing, and very helpful for others around you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Right.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And hopefully this applies to the rest of you high achievers who want to come out of the quarantine with a business plan and, you know, a pitch deck. All right, who's next?
Next is Julie.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you so much for being so vulnerable to the other ones. I'm wondering about something, or I have like the thing with the man is a little bit easier for me, or I had like a really, really good experience, so I that helped me to be more like open and to and I'm practicing a lot on my own, but I have problems with women to find women that that I can be open with, because I have this experience of rejection a lot, and I'm not sure. And I also like can like when I observe myself, I also can see this like competition thing in me that I don't like, and I don't really know how to start, and I would like to have a women's group or something. And I'm living in Norway right now, and women here are very masculine, so I also like when I am like more soft, then I get a lot of resistance here. So yeah.
So just so I'm clear, so your question is about like, how do you sort of create a woman's group or deal with your own resistance around a woman's group? Or
yes, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll turn that over to Danielle. I'm sure she has.
10 years ago, a friend of a friend said, hey, I just want to hang out with some women. You know some cool women. I know some cool. If everybody just invited one other woman to my house, let's see what happens. And there was a snowstorm that night, and only 5 of us showed up. And we've been meeting once a month every month for 10 years now. One of us is in Kenya, a few of us are in Vancouver. And the beauty of that is the diversity, that we're all different. You know, one of us is 75, one of us is in our 40s, I'm the young, you know, and it was just women who wanted to get together. There was nothing, it wasn't very strategic, it was very loose, there was no agenda, and it turned out to be a beautiful thing. And it's like the simplest approach. And it doesn't, and all your stuff will be there anyway. That's the beautiful thing. Someone in that group is going to reject you. Someone in that group is going to embrace you, and you're going to do the same with everybody else. And just to like, not think about it, but hey, women just want to be together. Yeah. And to know that, at least my experience, so many people are craving that connection and that IRL. Also don't want to hear IRL anymore. In real life, in real time, in real space, breathing the same air together. Yeah. So again, just like, it goes back to what John was saying, actually, of your desire is a gift. Desire to connect with other feminine creatures, and let it be easy. Just let it be easy. Don't complicate it. Don't bring in mother issues. Just get some chicks together in a room and just watch. Yeah.
I also believe that your desire is magnetic.
Yes.
And so your desire to, you know, I'm going to assume that your desire, your impulse, let's call it an impulse, to be with other women and to practice in your own feminine and to really connect to the collective feminine, just like for a man connecting to the collective masculine or collective consciousness. You know, that's a gift. It's magnetic. So the more you can actually feel that yearning and really connect to the yearning for sisterhood at the very least, and maybe something deeper if you want to identify it like that, it'll be magnetic, and people will just easily show up in you'll find a virtual women's group that feels good. I think I just saw somebody, Alyssa might have posted something about something she started in Germany that's virtual. So, you know, there's your desire. If you can really just stay in the desire, most of us want to eject from the desire, whether it's connection with a partner, romantic partner, or a yearning in our own heart. Man, we want to eject. We want to find the solution to the desire, because actually living in the desire is painful sometimes. Doesn't have to be, but oftentimes it is, because we connect to the not having it, the contrast of not having it. So staying in that desire of like, I want sisters, like I want like sisterhood, like right there, just that, like just that, like I want that, I want to dance, I want to, you know, and being in that and just acknowledging in your own heart the depth of that is magnetic.
And the pain of being rejected by women, to be able to sit with that sorrow, and then also take it as a gift. Like sometimes it's your projection. Sometimes it's a repeated behavior, and other times it's a favor. Like, great, you can't take my light, you can't take my love. I see you, I hope you can open to it someday. Next, sister, next, sister. Yeah, I know that experience. Yeah, the good ones rise. Yeah.
Just a show of hands from everybody watching this. Could you feel when she tapped into that and she had a little smile? Could you guys all feel the ripple?
Mm-hmm.
Did you experience it as like a gift, a little gift? That's the way it works. You own that desire, you own that yearning, you own that your humanity, right? And everybody else feels it as a little blast of light, a breeze of love.
Mm.
Yeah, thank you. Danielle, I want to be respectful to your time. I wanted to take a couple more questions. You have another 15 minutes? Cool. Okay. All right, cool. Thank you, Julie.
Okay, great. Let's go to Liam.
Hi, guys. Hi, John. Good to see you.
Hey, Liam.
Hey, Danielle.
Hi.
I loved your framing, Danielle, around the hungry ghost versus Veggies, and I find I'm trying to sift through the difference for a desire that I have, and I feel it's got something to do with separating the rescuer from the part of me as a man who has a real desire to protect and to be what I feel is like an everyday hero for the woman in my life, and to feel appreciated and honored for that. And I guess the hungry ghost part is a bit of a hungry ghost from my past, where I would have come at that from a place of, well, a rescuer place, and a trying to prove something place. And I'm still trying to separate that out for myself, you know, because it feels like a very natural, pure desire for me. But I feel that I've overcompensated from the past of trying to avoid the rescuer, and ended up in this place of, you know, trying to fight for equal responsibility, or for, you know, just avoiding being the rescuer. And it's kind of really getting in the way of me just sharing my gifts as a man and just doing what feels right and good for me and for her. So yeah, I'd be really interested in any support in disentangling that a bit more.
John, can I run with this?
Yeah, do it.
Okay. So you know that under wanting to be a rescuer is pain.
Yeah.
You use the word past at least 6 times.
Yes.
So that needs to be dissolved so that you can move into the virtues of the heart. So all that how I look at it is this, like this density of illusion. So you take all these lies, family of origin stuff, past life stuff, social conditioning stuff, and there's the pain, there's the illusion. And then for you, that's like, I'm going to be the rescuer because it's going to fill my hole. You have to offer that up. So you got to burn through it, work through it therapeutically, however you want to do that. My experience is that eventually you get to this point in yourself where the pain is where nobody else can touch it. No therapist can help you. No men's group is going to help you get it. And that's where you need to go to like really be in higher love, to come from higher love. And my experience is that to dissolve that pain, it's this offering upward. So whatever your paradigm is, spirit, the infinite creator, it's like you're just begging for mercy. You don't want to be in that bind anymore. You realize the only place to give it is up. And then you meet it. You're met by something greater than yourself. And it's so humbling. And in that you become, it's the opposite of being the rescuer. Right? Like you get the mercy. It's like, I don't have to rescue anybody. Now I just get to be in virtue of leadership, compassion, joy, love. So much sexier, by the way.
Devotion.
Yeah.
Right. So what I love about what Danielle said, let me just add one thing about that. Going into the pain allows you to go up. So it's almost like a little J curve. So you go into this pain, and then through the pain and really feeling the pain deeply, like we talked about on this call. And then that allows you to offer it up. And most people get the approach backwards. You deal with the pain first that makes you want the tendency to rescue or to save, right? And there's a reason why, versus trying to develop the capacity to take care of. There's a shadow eating. I think you have to own like the part of you that wants to rescue. I love shadow work. I'm a huge fan of shadow work. And I actually think if you could actually take the shape of it and embody it and feel it, right? And feel all the pain associated with it. And then that allows you to go up.
Yeah. I feel I've done a lot of that. And I feel I'm on not entirely on the other side, but largely. And I feel that I'm in a place now where I've overcompensated and gone too far the other way, where I'm in a place now where I'm just more making that desire to not rescue, but as I said, protect and lead and be an everyday normal hero in somebody's life. That piece, that's the part I'm struggling with, is I feel I've made that wrong because I've had to swim through a lot of that stuff.
Right. It's not that the key word for me, at least, is devotion.
Yeah.
Right. So devotion does not rescue, devotion serves. But if you filter your desire, it's an ownership thing. Like, I want to take care of somebody.
Totally. Yeah. Right? That's 100% what it is.
Just whatever just happened in your nervous system was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, fuck, totally. I want to take care of somebody. And that's a beautiful impulse, man. And maybe, you know, like you said, maybe you've done all the work you need to do. And now it's just about owning that pure part of your heart that wants to serve and love from a place of very deep devotion.
I found that most desires are prodigal. Like, we have a desire sort of early on, let's say in our 20s, it's like, I want to protect. And then go into our own shadow and all these tests, and it's a shadow. And I want to protect, but it turns into like, I want to be the rescuer, and then that would fill a need. And then we come around to, and it's like, no, I really do want to protect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know? And it's just like we reunite with the desire. It's like, no, I really am this.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful. That's the diamond.
It's the craziest. That's exactly what it feels like. I've come back to a place that I started, but from a different perspective. And it really kind of confuses me a little. It's like,
I don't think you're confused at all, brother. You are very clear. Your body is very clear. Your mind gets confused, but your body was like, there it is. Like, we all saw it.
Yeah.
But you lit up, you smiled, everything got free in your heart. And you're like, fuck yeah, I want to protect. I want to serve. And there's nothing. Absolutely own that thing unabashedly.
Whole devotion doesn't come without that inquiry, that questioning, that it's so beautiful. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Trust.
Gracias.
You can always course correct. You know what I mean? Like, trust. Like, I want to take. Like, if you're with a woman or you're with a partner, take care of. Like, just like I want to take care of you, and really own that part of you. That is, you know, there's cultural programming here because for 2 generations of men, we've been taught that women want to take care of themselves. You know, so it's a confusing thing sometimes for us. But to own it and just be like, look, I want to take care of you. And then watch, like Danielle was saying, you really have to just be aware of when you're overstretching it and it becomes saviorhood or caretakerhood or codependence.
What you said about the cultural conditioning, that's the shit that I'm fucking wrestling with. There's this whole story that I've heard over, it's like equal responsibility and la 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 la. It's like, that's not what I feel that I want to offer.
I'll just be the voice of the feminine for a second. I hang out with some pretty full dynamic women. We all want to be taken care of. That's it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Feel the mutual, this sort of shared responsibility versus mutual devotion.
Right.
It's just a prism to you know, mutual devotion is a totally different way to approach it. And I think if you keep that prism pure, you'll make the right decisions. You'll love each other beautifully.
That sounds pretty rad. Yeah, that's a great problem. Thank you.
All right, man. All right, we'll take one more question.
Okay, Allison McMahon, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, John, Danielle, Nicolette. Very happy to be here.
Hi.
So I've come to your teachings and your content, John, in the last couple of months, and it's been a really beautiful frame of reference, and I've had new language, and I'm able to look at things through a new lens. And one of the things that I have realized in this process is that I have a very deep distrust in the ability for the masculine to show up for me. And part of my realization around this was actually doing one of the feminine practices in the virtual workshop around the divine masculine, and where you're led through this process of just really letting the divine masculine, you know, be there for you. And I am very like blocked in that. I don't believe it. I can picture the divine masculine there, and I just don't trust it. I don't feel worthy of it. And it's so painful because I want it so badly. So any practices around that would be appreciated.
Just staying where you are right now is beautiful. Because we're all witnessing you, right? And loving you, and you just being able to be loved and witnessed is you trusting the masculine. First of all, I want to just say, it's totally normal if any of us were raised with were raised in a household where we couldn't trust the structure, or we couldn't trust the presence, or it's normal that we'd grow up in this place of not trusting the masculine principle, let's say. It could be from a mother or a father, it doesn't matter, you know. So you're at a beautiful spot that's normal. I want to just, you know, let you know that. And then I'm sure Danielle has some thoughts on this, being a woman as well, you know, that, you know, baby steps in just moment to moment, trusting, you know, just taking baby steps. Like Kendra, my friend Kendra would talk about this sometimes. She'd like, just go into a grocery store and ask somebody, practice asking for where the is, right? And just starting to practice to notice where, you know, men want to show up, or the masculine wants to show up and hold you and serve you and protect you. And you just start training yourself little by little to open to that possibility. And then there's a lot of pain to feel. And both of those things kind of are happening simultaneously in my experience working with women in this realm. But Danielle, I know you must have some wisdom to share in this.
Underscoring John, it's so legit. Just to validate. Also, I thought, like, where you really softened is where you said, you used the word worthy, feeling worthy of being met. And I think, like, I have a little side mission right now, which is I want to dispel the New Age myth that we need to feel worthy in order to attract and manifest what we desire. Because if that were true, none of us would get anything. We wouldn't manifest. And we all know, you can probably all think right now, everybody knows like a baller, right? Like they get stuff done, they attract, they got their vision board, and they get what they want. But you know, inside, sad boy, it's just father issues, right? So right there, science is showing us like, don't need to feel worthy to manifest. So if there could be like a softening around that, like you can feel messy and insecure and all shadowy and watery, and it can still come. The masculine can still show up for you. In fact, in that honesty of just like, I'm just a morass right now of questions and confusion, that honesty right there is like so radiant. So just know, like, any questions around value and worth, also legit, not blocking you at all, not blocking what you want from you at all whatsoever. Yeah, because the truth is,
I think that's one of my concerns. Like I was married, I've been separated for about 8 months. And I guess in that insecurity, I worry I'm transmitting the wrong thing into the world. And that yeah, that's going to be a hindrance, not a help. And I think maybe even like kind of connected to the last question, it's like getting in that like confusion around opening versus like transmitting the wrong thing into the world.
I love the hot mess for you. Actually, I just think like embracing your hot mess and allowing yourself to be okay, like just watching you take that in tells me that that's something maybe to explore. So yeah, like don't know what to do. Practice sacred helplessness, as I would call it, right? Practice being a hot mess, embrace that, and notice what happens in the masculine around you. Not only that, but it seems like you feel like a hot mess a bit, yeah? So fucking own it. Just own it. Like, just like, it's a beautiful thing to own, like, and not that that's who you are, but that's just part of who you are. And I think that in being, then you become a gift to the masculine around you when you're embracing what's true for you at this moment in your life, in this moment in time, including grief, helplessness, confusion, all of those things. Actually, the masculine loves that. Oh, we'll tell you what to do. Oh, I got it, baby. All right, you should do this, this, and this, right? You start taking class here, blah, blah, blah. You know, there's 20 dudes on this call that would love to tell you what to do with your life if you showed up. I'm not sure they'd all know, but, you know, their desire is certainly there. So one last thing I want to say about this, and then Danielle, you can take us home. Don't wait to trust to open.
Yeah, that's
another myth. That's the myth that I'm railing against, which is you do not need to trust to open. If you open and they're not worthy of your openness and your radiance, it'll be very clear, and then you can course correct. But the myth of I need to trust before I can open keeps us closed.
Yes.
Thank you. That was courageous and beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you both.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. All right. So everybody, please join me in thanking Danielle for joining us this morning.
What a great way to start the day.
Right?
So beauty. I love it. Yeah.
That's how we were like, I don't want to stop these calls. I'm fucking.
Oh, so good. Yeah, let's have lunch. Yeah.
Can you just tell them how they can get a hold of you, or if there's anything that you're doing during this time or at this point?
I'm everywhere. Yeah, DanielleLaPorte.com. And right now, I'm really interested in conversations about this passage that we're in. I'm really interested in grace, like just holding sorrow and joy and life and death. And this is the time for idealists to unite. Those of us who've been, like of the heart, this is the call. And I think if we just, it's not a thinking, it's a knowing. If we just bring everything into the heart, the problem of the day into the heart, the grief into the heart, the conundrum, the strategy, the business plan, the desire, just bring it into the mind of the heart. All solutions are there. All answers are there. It's all there. It's all there. And unity is it.
Okay, so thank you all again. Nicolette put links for Depth and Devotion, which is an online program I'm really excited about. If you want to go deep, if you're called to go deeper, just reach out to us. And you can find Danielle's omnipresent everywhere. So you can find her everywhere. And we'll do this again in a couple weeks. Next call's in a couple weeks. I just have a feeling we're going to be navigating for at least another 6 months together. And I'm really enjoying this. And like Danielle said, it's a great way to start the day. So thank you all for trusting us, for bringing your beautiful questions. Thank you again, Danielle, for being a part of this. And we'll see you guys again soon.
Yeah, love.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.